Where you stand as a leader of the Roots Party and the party itself, what do you say about what's going on here?
I would first of all remove Kanja, the Inspector General of Police, from blame. Secondly, I've been a police officer for so many years. When as a police constable, I was posted to Central Police Station, where I started as sales sentry. So I understand the dynamics in that station very well. But the most fundamental principle here is an accuser cannot become the judge, in which case the Deputy Inspector General of Police should have stepped aside immediately. And if he hasn't stepped aside up to now, then I would ask the international community, and I'm going to be very extraneous in what I'm going to say, to ban anything to do with, to impose embargo on his travel and those of his children. And I'm sounding this with very great enthusiasm to the British and the EU, as well as the Americans. I'm personally going to write a letter. I'm not saying he has killed. I don't have evidence to that. But all fingers are pointing at him. And this shows the inefficiency in Ruto's government. There's some kind of primitive and logistic agenda where everybody appointed by Ruto, especially and particularly this particular man, who stays in a myth. You can see his body language on that material day. He was acting as if he was the one who had strangled this boy. I could read that from the spiritual perception. I'm not saying he did. But if at all they're pointing at him, then something's wrong. And secondly, those people who have been arrested should be released henceforth.
Who?
The culprits. Yes, if Lagat has not stepped aside, the OCS who is believed to have been in a drinking place in Wilson Airport at that particular time, and there are CCTV indications that he was actually not at the station. They should have that woman who was with him to write a statement to confirm where he was at that particular time, the employees of that particular pub in Wilson Airport. And once that is raised, that's fine. Not unless he came back to the station to erase or to help into erasing the CCTV footages, then he should be charged as an accomplice. But the person to step aside is actually Deputy Inspector General of Police, and he should step aside immediately. Otherwise, I personally, I am going to conduct the European Union, because I practiced law in the UK and EU for many years. I am going to personally write to the congressmen in the United States to make sure that this man does not step outside the country unless he steps down and then is vindicated.
Right. Prof, we've had this conversation before, and sometimes it seems that we are looking to the West to sort of do the things that we can't. How do we hold him accountable here? Because, you know, travel bans and denial of entry is well and good, but if he can operate in Kenya still as a free man, then you see, justice hasn't been served.
I've just concluded my PhD in criminal justice and public policy. This is my second PhD, and I'm graduating. I'm going to Tampa, Florida, to graduate on 11th and 12th. And
congratulations.
Thank you. And I've sat on that research for 6.5 years, having external and internal research professors. I've researched deeply. The criminal justice system in this country is below average. It doesn't work. It will never work unless probably somebody of the like-minded personality like myself or any other person takes over. Why would we go to the West now? I think it works because the system here does not work unless we go and borrow leave from Burkina Faso. If we say that you're going to follow into a criminal justice system, then it's just a laughing stock. Look at what IPOA is doing. They have not even issued, they have not asked this man to step aside since he has refused. The president has not addressed the nation. The Minister for Internal Security, of course, was called, but he has no experience. Murkomen is the most inefficient cabinet secretary we have ever seen. If I was Murkomen, I would have asked this man to step aside, or if anything, I would step aside until I restore public confidence.